Hello and welcome to this edition of The Creative Quarantine, born out of necessity and fueled by imagination. My name is Aaron Reimers and I work for the NWTC Artisan and Business Center. And today we're going to be making paper lanterns. Alright, here's what you're going to need. Cardstock is ideal. I'll be using a file folder because it's what I've got. Paper works, but it's a little bit flimsy. Cardboard will also work, but sometimes harder to get those details out of. You'll need a square. If you don't have a square, that's alright. Any book with a corner will do. A pencil for marking. Tape. You can use masking tape, packing tape. Scotch tape is ideal, but remember, it's what you've got. A ruler. If you don't have a ruler, it'll work out if you have a Post-it note. Post-it note is 3 inches square, and our project happens to be 3 inches square on top and 3 inches by 6 inches tall. So this will get you by. An X-Acto knife. If you don't have an X-Acto knife, that's okay. A utility knife will work out just as well. Worst case scenario, you're using scissors. You just don't go as detailed with your projects. And remember, always pay attention to what you're doing because we don't want anyone cutting themselves. All right, and last but not least, you need a candlelight. Make sure it is an LED candlelight because remember, we are making paper lanterns and we in no way want real flame around these. All right, now that we know what we need, let's see what we can create. All right, now that we have all of our materials out in front of us, I went ahead and cut the file folder in half because we only need half of it. That way we can free up a little bit more space. We go through, we make sure that we have a 90-degree edge, or 90-degree corner. Perfect. So now, with these, we'll need 4 sides that are 3 inches by 6 inches, and one that is 3 inches by 3 inches to be able to make our paper lanterns. And as you can see with this one, to create interest, I went through and made the design wrap around the corner. When first starting out, don't feel you need to go as advanced as this. You can start out more simplistic and get a feel for it before really starting to see how far you can take it. So now, like I said, these are 6 inches tall. So I make my line here. This gives me my height. And then they are 3 inches wide. So now I have my 4 panels and 1 top. The other thing to keep in mind before you get into cutting all of these out is how tall your candlelight is. Nobody wants to look into the candlelight and get blinded, especially if it's one of those brighter ones. So I usually like to stay about 2 inches up from the bottom, so none of my cutouts will actually reach up past that. And to make sure, I'll go through and put a very faint line down at the bottom just to make sure I don't go below that mark. And then that leaves me all of this space up here for designing. All right, now that we have our panels, let's get cutting. All right, now that we have all 4 of our sides and top together, you can see that even without a lot of detail, that this one's going to have a lot of interest to it. So this should show you that you don't have to go super complicated right out of the gate. This is one of those projects that I hope you enjoyed. I hope you'll play with it and experiment with it, and see just how far you can take those complicated designs. And when you do that, if you would please share them with us on our Facebook page, the Artisan Center at NWTC, and let's just see what you came up with. Thank you for joining us today, and now all that's left is for us to turn out the lights.